Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week, another lecture, another Talk to Me Tuesday with me, your host, Professor Christopher. Now, this month is going to be a little different as far as the tone and the type of videos that I'm making. Of course, with the tone of this one, but also after this, it's going to be a couple of videos in a row about the things that I didn't necessarily do correctly. This is prior to my adventures in financial services and a higher enlightening for myself. So we're going to cover a wide variety of things this month. Hopefully, some of these things can be avoided by you or others. You know, you kind of learn from the mistakes that others have made in the past. Also, I want to make sure of two things. One, that you're still continuing to visit my website at www.archerfinancialservices.org. Again, that's www.archerfinancialservices.org. And currently right now, I am the proud creator of a podcast. It's going to be different content from what's filmed on here, of course. It's called the Main Cast Podcast. And right now, you can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Anchor, and you can also find it on Apple. Maybe by the time this comes out, it'll also be on Google Podcasts as well for your listening pleasure. Alrighty, so let's get into the topic at hand. This is kind of the dark side of life insurance, right? Because the thing is, when people post their GoFundMe links and different kinds of stories, hoping that you maybe Cash App them or PayPal them some kind of funds to help them with the final expense. Usually that means that they don't have life insurance, right? So people get all judgy and then they wonder why this person doesn't have life insurance. And sometimes there is a good reason why people don't have life insurance. And the main reason of being, of course, they may not qualify. There are standards in which life insurance companies have to, keep in order to be able to bring a client in under their book of business. And I'm saying this because they, in a way, are making an investment in your life. So in order to do that, they're going to make sure that you are medically okay. Like they're going to check your background to make sure that your background is okay. They're going to make sure that your application is of fine standing, and if everything works out, of course, then that's when those premiums start rolling, right? So maybe asking like, well, if life insurance is the tell-all be-all that everybody likes to make a big deal about, then why is it that we got denied? Shouldn't we all be able to qualify for life insurance? And in a perfect world, the answer would be yes. However, us producers, we do not make the standards and practices of these different companies. So it's also on us to try to ask the proper questions, although sometimes people may or may not be completely honest with us, but it's on us to at least try to ask the questions. That way, in our minds, we have an idea of which company will probably work best should we have multiple companies under our belts. So just because you got denied here doesn't necessarily mean that you would get denied here. But sometimes you get denied here, you get denied here and here. And then it's like, well, damn, like, what am I supposed to do? And then, of course, looks like I'm gonna have to save my money some kind of way, or hit the lottery, or I'm gonna have to, go to the church or beg for them to help me out. It's all kinds of wild things that people have to come up with just because they didn't necessarily qualify. Now, again, Health is typically a disqualifier, which is why a lot of people look for companies that don't do medical exams. But by them not doing medical exams, there could be some additional feature that they won't offer you just because they don't offer medical exams. So there's like there's a give and a take. Give and a take, as always. Some companies are more strict than others as far as what they uncover when you give them permission to look into your medical background and your day-to-day background and everything like that. So note, although the answer is always try to get life insurance, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I mean, my tone isn't making it like not, kind of sound a little comical a little bit, but it's really serious, to be honest with you, because I'm a producer still, but I still believe that people should be able to get life insurance no matter what. Again, I don't control standards and practices, so the only thing that I can do for sure is to be able to just to be honest and be like, hey, this is what the company found. They said no, don't fret. We got other places to go, other places to try. Let's see if we can get you somewhere else. And if we can, yes. And if we can't, man, let's try this again, maybe a year or so. Try to get your health together, or try to get your license unsuspended, or try not to get so many moving violations and parking tickets. Try to stay out of jail, or anything that they will let me know. Usually a lot of times they just say no, sorry, we can't tell you anything else. But if they let me know exactly where we need to focus on, then of course that's going to be the action plan for the next 6 to 12 months. That's the dark side of life insurance, people. The dark side is sometimes you just don't get approved. No matter how hard you're trying, or no matter, what you may believe, it's just a thing that sometimes that you have to go through. And it's really unfortunate.